Abdullahi Adamu has reportedly resigned from his position. Senator Adamu is said to have resigned along with the National Secretary of the party, Senator Iyiola Omisore. Some sources within the party say if Senator Adamu does not resign, a vote of no confidence would be passed on him and forced out, and he would be forced out. There have been intra-party squabbles, going on in the party for a while, that, among the camps that favored Tinubu and other camps within the APC since his victory as president. However, the party had disregarded it as the usual politicking. Those back and forth going on in the party. But of course, to have that conversation with us this morning is Pastor Bayo Oshikomaya. Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Good morning, Uche.
All right. Of course, even if there was squabbles in the party, they wouldn't admit it. They've come out to say that it's regular party conversations, it's normal, they are fine, but it's not looking fine from, the stand where we are outside the party. And let us look at the resignation of, should I call him former national chairman now? Because I think Kiari is sitting in acting position now. Let us look at, the build-up to his resignation. There's some schools of thought believe it is because some sections in the party do not want him anymore. Others believe that because the auditing didn't go as planned, people believe he has skeletons in his cupboard in that regard, so they want to have him out. And others believe he didn't favor President Tinubu when he declared his, intention to run for president under the umbrella of the party. All these back and forth, how do you react to that?
Well, Uche, to start with, we don't need any oracle for those of us who are outside the party to tell us that it's not a good time at the national headquarters of the APC at the moment. It's all, and you've mentioned a lot of reasons why the party some section of the party could have made the move to, it's a quiet political palace coup, to have gotten Adamu Abdullahi out as being the national chairman of the APC. Of it all, what gives me the most worry and most concern is the issue of accountability. We just can't seem to get over sort of having the wrong people in power. Because how do you, as a national chairman, suddenly just resign a tenured position if there are no more, there are not basic issues that you should be tried for? We've seen a lot, we know what our tendencies are as Nigerians, that once we get into positions, we always want to max out our tenure. And in fact, a lot of us go after renewing tenures and all of it. So for him to have quietly, alongside the national secretary of the party, resigned quietly like that for a ruling party, then I'm sure he has a lot of skeleton in his cupboard. We've heard people say they've embezzled 80 billion naira, money that was received from sale of presidential, governorship, House of Assembly forms at the last election. Some have said 30 billion, some have said 80 billion. Surprisingly, I've watched interviews given by some members of the National Working Committee of the party who say that they are not even aware that any audit was carried out. And the man says, oh, an audit process, how are we a team responsible for managing a party, and as a member that should know what happens day-to-day running of the, because national secretariat of any of the big parties is a big business. If a party has over close to 80 billion, to even imagine that, then you can understand how serious this business is. We've heard that. We've also read all of these are just a hard-on to, I'm sure it is majorly about the financial issues, because knowing Adamu very well, is not a man that I think anyone can just kick out of a position. He's a former senator, a two-time governor of Nasarawa State. He's very experienced. He's a foundation member of one of the parties that came together to form APC. So he wouldn't have, and I know that aside from the fact that he is the national chairman of the party, it primarily represents a block of that party. You know, in the formation of this party, you had people come from Action Congress of Nigeria. You had President Muhammadu, former President Muhammadu Buhari lead the CPC. You had those who were disgruntled and left the PDP, who referred to them as national. Then I think we had Okorocha also leading one of the minority parties, who all came together to form this party that is called APC. I've read in instances where they've said, oh, the progressives being led by the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they feel, okay, we're in power right now, so it is our turn to take over the party. This party just has to be careful with what they are doing. The president should not dabble so much. There's so much task ahead of him, rather than allowing this party to be disgruntled. However, if we tell the president you have so much that you have to achieve in terms of governance right now, we would not encourage the president to shelve his eyes or close his eyes when there's financial misappropriation. That I cannot stand.
All right. I know that it hasn't been established what the reason actually is. The people who would be in the right position to speak for the party haven't really said anything. But then there's been many reasons, just like I mentioned earlier. Let's look at one of the major reasons that a lot of people are looking at: the fact that he did not support the candidacy of current President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2022. I think it was in the June or July of 2022 when people were beginning to raise their hands as to wanting to vie. He supported the then Senate President, I think, Ahmed Lawan, and of course Ahmed Lawan came out in the 8th position during the primaries of the party.
8th or 4th?
Okay, any of that. Thank you for the correction, by the way. But however, do you think that is even a reason enough? Like, should it even be a part of this conversation if we're having an internal political process in a party, and people throw their weights to wherever they feel is good, in goodness, entire goodness of the party, and that should be used against them eventually? Do you believe in that process?
No, I don't. I won't be a party to that. The truth is, politics, Josh and I always have this argument that it's a game of numbers, you understand. Ahmed now, the former former chairman of the party, no, they've not given any official statement to that effect, like you've also corroborated. The fact is that they had a National Working Committee meeting yesterday, an emergency one, that was chaired by Kyari, who is the Deputy National Chairman from the North. And the party has not said anything formal, but from what we can induce from the surrounding circumstances and what is coming to play right now, it appears, it is clear that Adamu is gone. I said that I agree with you that a lot of reasons, because they've not come out to give us a formal position as regards his resignation and what has led to his resignation, if that is the actual position. But amongst it all, the fact is that at the inception of the presidential campaign of Bola Ahmed Tinubu to get the primary ticket, it was too obvious that this man did not support him. But that is not, and I believe for a politician exposed at the level of Adamu, that would not be the only reason why he would tender his resignation. If that was the case, I'm sure that Adamu, for his status, would rather wait to get a vote of no confidence or play politics. Because you can, for someone to have been the national chairman, whether it was imposed by the former president, it would have been this short time of being there, close to a year and some few months of being there. He would have also found his footing. I read in one of the newspaper reports that when he realized that he was losing the game amongst his other national working committee members, he reached out to the state party chairman, different chapters, the 36 party state chapters, and they all turned their back on him. So I believe it is more about, yes, the sentiments of not supporting the president might be there, some people might be fanning the president to say we need to get rid of this man, he's not for us. But the truth is, it does not take so much for politicians to realign their positions.